what would happen if we actually had a slowdown in our sales? If we actually lost clients, what expenses would we pull back on? Right? So we can use data to create a plan so that we can have a level of comfort. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to lose any clients this year. You might lose clients for one reason or another. You might have a decline in your sales for one reason or another. And so if that situation occurs, this exercise is going to help you play the tape forward to say, if that happens, what expenses will I need to remove in order for me to stay a profitable, sustainable business? Hello, and welcome back to Entrepreneur Money Stories. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about negative thoughts. It's a deep one. I know we have all experienced and from time to time really suffered by having spiraling negative thoughts, especially as business owners. Now, I always like to start by defining what the heck I'm talking about so that we're on the same page. So negative thinking, this really involves having thoughts that are characterized by negative perceptions about the world around you. So having negative perceptions, expectations about yourself, right? I think we really experience that as business owners and about other people and the world around us. We are dealing with a lot as business owners. And if we don't control our mindset and our thought patterns, we can quickly find ourselves in a bad place. Now, there are several types of negative thinking, right? There's filtering, just focusing on the bad stuff, focusing on the negative parts of every situation and really disregarding the positive, right? How many of you can think about a time that you've done that? I'm raising my hand. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see me. Personalizing, seeing yourself as the sole cause of negative events. And we have catastrophizing, automatically anticipating the worst outcome. No matter what, you are running to the worst outcome. And then we have polarizing, right? It's viewing circumstances as just good or bad, right? There's no middle ground. Every situation, every circumstance is good or bad. And I have seen so many of these situations play out over the years. So I want to give you a few of these thought patterns that I've seen and a few comments that our clients at Kickstart Accounting Inc. have said to us. And I think that as you hear me say these, you can really see yourself in some of these comments. So first example is black and white thinking. I'm not good at managing money, so why even bother trying? Right? I'll never get this right. And there's mind reading. They all think I'm stupid. I know they have better things to do than to help me. And this might feel harsh as I'm saying them, but think back, right? We've made these comments to ourselves. Crystal ball gazing. There's no point in even trying. I know I'm not going to understand my numbers. Why even bother opening up this email, reading my financial snapshot? I'm never going to understand it. Then there's overgeneralization. This relationship didn't work out, so I'm never going to find someone to help me because this bookkeeper, this CPA firm, this contractor or employee, because that one person didn't work out, I will never find someone to help me. Disqualifying the positive. This one I love. I may be a decent practitioner, right? I'm good at my craft. But really, anybody can do that. Overreacting. My vendor, my business partner hasn't replied to me, so she hates me. Actually, nobody likes me. Unrealistic expectations. I have to get this perfect. Nothing less is good enough. If I can't perfectly understand my numbers, why bother? Doing nothing is better than doing this halfway. Name calling. This is the one that I'm guilty at. I can't believe I said that. I'm such an idiot. My daughter has called me out on this one. I'll say something like that to myself. And she'll be in the kitchen or something. She'll hear me say that. She's like, whoa, mom, literally one thing. Self-blame. They look mad. It must be something I did wrong. And lastly, catastrophizing. Since I can't pay this bill, my business credit rating is going to go down the tubes and I am actually going to lose my entire business. These are statements that I have heard firsthand from clients. These are things I have witnessed people go through. It breaks my heart. And as I have studied and worked with entrepreneurs throughout the years, I have heard this one strategy over and over again as a way of reframing. And it is positive affirmations. Use positive affirmations to reframe your thoughts. Well, I'm calling bullshit on this strategy. Yelling in the mirror or even calmly saying to yourself, I deserve to be loved, respected, and heard. Or I am enough. I don't have to prove my worth to anyone. Oh, this failure, I am grateful for the opportunity to learn something new. Do those affirmations make you feel better? Do they really help you reframe your negative thinking? Now, I think we need to throw out our affirmations deck and we need to get deeper. Now, we go really deep into our thought patterns around money in our Money Mindset Mastery program. But I want to just pull back the curtain of that program just a little bit and give you a sneak peek at our framework and give you a few action steps that you can use right now. So here are some strategies that you can use as these negative thought patterns start to creep up for you. The first one is to examine the evidence. So when you have some of these negative thought patterns creep in, how can you examine the evidence? The number one way is to see, what are the numbers really showing? Now, this is happening a lot here. I'm recording this in 2023. And I believe that there is talks of a recession, not necessarily a recession, but talks of a recession and a slight economic slowdown. And so we're hearing from our clients over and over again that I feel like things are really slow right now. Like my business is never going to pick up again. I probably should have never became an S Corp. I need to let people go. How long am I going to be able to withstand and weather this storm? But when we actually look at the evidence, when we look at the profit and loss compared to prior year, that's not what the numbers are showing. The numbers are showing that this year is just as strong as last year. It feels slower. There's talks about that being slower. We're being influenced by the media. And this isn't a political conversation. It is, how can we recognize the negative thinking and then use the evidence to determine if that negative thinking is warranted? And then once we see what the numbers are showing, we can start to play the tape forward and we can look at the scenarios and play it forward, right? So when we play the tape forward in this situation, we can use our financials, we can use the numbers. So look at the profit and loss by month for the last 12 months to play out what would happen if we actually had a slowdown in our sales. If we actually lost clients, what expenses would we pull back on? Right? So we can use data to create a plan so that we can have a level of comfort. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to lose any clients this year. You might lose clients for one reason or another. You might have a decline in your sales for one reason or another. And so if that situation occurs, this exercise is going to help you play the tape forward to say, if that happens, what expenses will I need to remove in order for me to stay a profitable, sustainable business? And then ask yourself, has this scenario occurred in the past? Has this happened already to you? Have you already been through a recession or a downturn? Hello, COVID-19. How did we get through that situation? What lessons can we learn from that situation so that we can reframe our thoughts to create power? And then what is the worst possible outcome of this negative scenario? You can play it forward, play the tape forward, maybe journal this out, write out what is the worst case scenario? And I want you to ask yourself why 5 times. What is it? Why does it matter? What is it? Why does it matter? Right? Keep asking yourself, what is it? What is the scenario that you're playing negative thoughts around? Why does it matter? And get in deep to that negative thought. And then how likely is it for that outcome to happen? And could you handle it if it does? Right? By playing the tape forward and seeing how that might play out, we can create a plan. We can create the best case and the worst case scenario. Now, I don't want you to stay there. This is the important piece. We can't stay there. We can create a plan, use it to reframe our thoughts, and then put it aside and get back to business. It hasn't happened, right? These are scenarios that we are concerned about, but it doesn't mean that it's happened. Today's show is brought to you by Kickstart Accounting, Inc. Are you ready to take control of your finances and pave the way to sustainable profit? Look no further than Kickstart Accounting, Inc., your trusted bookkeeping service since 2015. They've worked with thousands of other business owners, so they understand your unique needs. What really actually sets them apart, though, is that they're entrepreneurs themselves, dedicated to entrepreneurs like you. Kickstart Accounting Inc.'s strategic framework empowers you every step of the way. They will start with their safe and secure onboarding process, use their magic to set up QuickBooks, and provide you with their easy-to-read financial snapshot. Don't forget, you'll have a dedicated team to ensure that your financials are accurate and on time. Don't let bookkeeping overwhelm you. Trust the Kickstart Accounting Inc. team today. Visit kickstartaccountinginc.com to book your discovery call and get started. Next, I want you to think about what you would tell your friend or your colleague. If you had a business partner or a business friend, colleague, somebody in your mastermind that came to you and shared the thoughts that you're having, they shared those thoughts with you. What would you say to your friend? If your friend said to you, I am not good with money, I'm never going to get this, so I'm not going to look at my numbers anymore. What would you say to that friend? How would you react? How would you encourage your friend? And again, maybe you journal this out, write a letter to your friend on how you would encourage them that they can make small efforts, small changes to slowly understand their numbers over time. Next, maybe you find a money team or support system to give yourself an outlet, a voice, a support system. You know, in the addiction community in AA, there is a reason that these support communities work, because we're able to come in and voice the situation, the scenarios, the possibilities, and be heard and seen. So how can you find a money team or support system to have that outlet? Now, a lot of our clients at Kickstart Accounting Inc. schedule monthly or quarterly review calls with us. And during that time, we're reviewing the financial statements and answering any questions or any scenarios that might be coming up for our clients. And this is their time to have an outlet, to have somebody to hear what's going on in their business and to support them, to celebrate the wins and to hear the concerns. Lastly, I want you to think about the questions that you are asking yourself. I had somebody recently say to me, maybe we're all just asking the wrong damn question. And I think that's really powerful, right? Maybe we are asking the wrong questions of ourselves. So when we are reflecting on our business financials, maybe when we're leading our team, we're asking the wrong questions. Now, asking questions of yourself and others, it's such an amazing opportunity to spur learning, to find the lessons and failures, to exchange ideas, to fuel your innovation and your performance. You can build rapport and trust amongst your team members, your support systems, and yourself. We might be able to even mitigate business risk by uncovering the pitfalls and hazards of business by asking questions. So one, are you asking yourself questions? So if we're not, we need to start asking ourselves questions. We can't just look at the numbers. We can't just look at our business as a bystander. We have to get involved. We need to ask ourselves questions, ask our team members questions. And then we need to listen. Dale Carnegie advised in his 1936 classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People, be a good listener. He said, ask questions to other people that they will enjoy answering. More than 80 years later, most people fail to really hear Carnegie's sage advice. So how do we implement this for ourselves as a leader? I want you to stop asking yourself, your support system, and your team members limiting questions. Instead, ask yourself, your support system, and your team, what is the gift in this? How can I make this more enjoyable? How do I make this business more fun? How can I simplify this task, problem, or scenario? Think about what questions will give you a gift, pull you out of the negative thinking, and create a gift. Again, I'm going to use the example of, I'm not a numbers person. I'll never understand this. How can we reframe the questions so that they're not limiting, so we can expose this negative thought? What is the gift in being able to see this from fresh eyes, to have the opportunity to learn something new, right? To go from being a practitioner to a business owner that is open to the possibility of learning something new. Now, how can I make that more enjoyable? I can start to, one, schedule calls with my support system who are fun accountants and can walk me through this information. You can make this more enjoyable by getting yourself a cup of coffee or a cookie or a favorite treat. Start to associate your dopamine with reviewing your numbers. How can you make this more fun? Right? Maybe you take your numbers, your snapshot, the call with your money team outside to a place that you really enjoy. And then how can you simplify this, right? So if you are having a really difficult time reading the Excel sheets that your bookkeeper is sending you or logging into QuickBooks and pulling these reports on your own, if it is too much, how can you simplify it? Get help in your business, right? Hiring a bookkeeping team. Find a bookkeeping team that will send you your financial statements in a simplified way. Think about how you can simplify that task, that negative thought, and then reframe your questions so that you can find the gift in your negative thinking. I know you can. I promise you, you can find the gift in these negative thoughts. We need to work to reframe our thoughts, to rewrite our money story. The work starts here. This is where the work is. Getting bookkeeping help or updating QuickBooks, that's only step one. We have to do the work to rewrite our money story, to be able to step into our power as a CEO and business owner. If you need additional help, I encourage you to check out our Money Mindset Mastery program. And if you can't even think about getting started in this until you have your bookkeeping complete, we would love to help you. You can visit us at kickstartaccountinginc.com/getting started to learn more about working with the Kickstart Accounting Inc. team and book a call so that we can learn more about you and your business to see if this is a good fit for us to be able to help you so that you can start asking yourself better questions.